Welcome back, everyone. All right, Rick, continue. Where are we at?
What are we on? Part 2 of NerdChat Explains for Star Wars Infinities and Empire Strikes Back?
It's been literally 5 seconds since I got right back on.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe they waited a day. All right.
Yes, carry on.
So, as Han and Chewie are leaving, they're taking off. Han's like, I care about you and I have to deal with this, so this doesn't become an issue for us.
Right, so he goes to pay off the bond.
So he leaves, and Yoda tells her that, she's going to train. It's going to be excruciatingly difficult. She's going to face true darkness, both inside and out. And, it's just not going to be easy in any way. But she has no choice. Mm-hmm. She has to become strong because now the fate of the galaxy rests on her.
Yeah.
It's no longer on Luke with a backup plan. It's all on her. She's the only plan.
Okay.
And so he gives her a lightsaber hilt as to train with, so she can start with. And as she ignites it, it's got a purple blade, and he says, next time you see your friends, a Jedi will you be.
Alright.
So that's the end of issue 2. Alright. And then issue 3 starts with a time skip, kind of like New Hope did. So once you got through the second issue, there was that 5-year gap or whatever.
Yeah.
So this one, though, is only a few months. It's 4 months. Because they don't really say, but it's a few months later. And it shows Yoda and Leia training, and he's talking to her it's crazy how much you've learned. Because she's already levitating, and she's lifting the rocks with her mind and everything. And then he's talking about how she's learned more than any pupil he's ever taught, faster than any pupil he's ever taught. And she's like, even my father? And he said, your father was very powerful, but he was too strong-headed and stubborn, and your approach is much more sublime.
Okay.
And so because of that, Leia's becoming very powerful very quickly, because she's a much more level-headed and calm person.
And she's much more welcoming to the training
yes.
than Anakin, who's just well, why aren't I the best right now?
Why am I not the best right now? And same with Luke. Mm-hmm. So, but Leia is just much more open to learn and become the best. And she just, as a person, is much more serene in the Force than the men of her family are.
Right.
So then the next thing that happens is, as Yoda's dumping all this praise on her, this big slug creature starts coming out of the swamp and comes at Leia like it's going to attack her, and she stabs it with her lightsaber. It explodes. So it's just goo and just guts just everywhere. And Yoda's just yet learned you have not the hazards of using a lightsaber against a foe comprised entirely of water. It just instantly boiled and exploded. And he's got this piece of the creature hanging off his ear. He's just So then we flash away, and this is the first POV flash we get to someone other than Leia and Han.
Okay.
And this goes to Vader. So this is where we start seeing a lot of Vader's point of view of what's happening. And he's just getting super frustrated. It's showing him just destroying villages and, slaughtering bases. And he's every single lead I chase is a dead end. Everything is a goose hunt. Because he can't find Luke.
Yeah.
He's searching for Luke, and he can't find it. And one of the officers who's present at the time is just sir, there have been rumors floating around that Luke Skywalker died on Hoth. And Vader is just that's false, because I can feel it. And if you say that again, I will kill you. So he thinks he can sense Luke.
But he's sensing Leia.
But he can't sense her directly because he thinks he's searching for Luke.
Yeah.
So he's not following the thread of the Force that leads directly to Leia, because he doesn't even know he has a daughter.
Yeah.
So he can feel another Skywalker is out there, but he's it's driving him nuts. He's so pissed. And so he leaves the planet and he goes up to his command ship And he immediately sends out, like, he just gets this big, fresh shipment of probe droids. And it's like, I think they said it's like 50,000 probe droids. And he's just like, send them all out. Program and send them all out. And there's like this big shuttle coming in with like another 20 bounty hunters. And he's like, all right, brief them and send them out too. My search is coming to an end soon. I can feel it. So he's just constantly sending out probe droids and bounty hunters. He's like, you're going to find Skywalker.
Find this kid.
Or you're going to find Solo. You're going to find one of them. And so then it leaves Vader, and we go to Han's point of view. Mm-hmm. And it's shown that Han and Chewie have been doing all kinds of different work and just saving up stupid amounts of money.
Okay.
And Han's like, all right, we're going to pay back Jabba with interest, so Jabba's going to end up happy. But, obviously, I'm not stupid enough to just show up at Jabba's front door and be like, have money. So he hires a courier to take the money to Jabba. The thing is, the courier betrays him.
Of course. And
he's like, well, I can just sell you to Jabba, make more money, and keep your ship. So the courier betrays Han, and Han and Chewie get captured. And they get taken to Jabba's palace. Mm-hmm. And Jabba's like, oh, yeah, this is great. And just throws him in a jail cell. Mm-hmm. Now, for the next, 2 days, Han's, beating on the door like, please let me talk to Jabba. I need to talk to Jabba. Mm-hmm. And eventually he lets him out, and they're in the pit or whatever. And he's like, what do you want, Han? What do you want? And he's like, I have your money. I can pay you your money. I can pay you more. I can pay everything that I owe you plus interest. Mm-hmm. And Jabba's like, unfortunately, it's been so long that this is no longer business. This is... I can't just let you go.
Okay.
I can't. It's been too long, Han. I always liked you, but I can't let you go. Uh-huh. And so Jabba unleashes a pair of Nexu. So remember those cat things?
I know what a Nexu is, yeah.
But they might not. So
it's on the screen, Rim.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen. The damn cat things from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
And he releases a pair of Nexu into the pit to kill Han and Chewie, because Chewie was with him. Well, the thing that they didn't count on was that Han and Chewie, A, weren't alone, and B, they let Chewie in the pit with Han. So,
okay.
one of the Nexu, jumps at Han and, scratches Han, and then he smacks it with a bone he finds, and one jumps at Chewie, and Chewie just fucking picks it up and throws it against the wall like he does to Boba Fett.
Alright.
And they're like, shit, we forgot, we put a Wookiee in there. But Han and Chewie weren't alone, because they had C-3PO and R2-D2.
Okay.
So R2-D2 just rolls up and opens the cage door and lets out Han and Chewie and the Nexu. So Han and Chewie just take off, and the Nexu just start ripping apart Jabba's guards. And Han and Chewie are like, shit, go! Come on, R2! And R2's moving all slow, and Chewie just picks him up and runs. And they're just like, And so the Nexu, kill the guards, and then they go into, the palace room, the ballroom, and they just start going to town on guests and guards, and they even attack Jabba himself. And the funny part is, so Han and Chewie and R2 get to the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
And there's a guard standing at the gate to the Falcon, the ramp. Uh-huh. And the guard's you can't get on. And Jabba yells, Jabba's screaming in the palace, help! And he's like, Jabba needs your help! And the dude's like, and he goes running to the door, and immediately as he gets to the door, fucking Nexu takes him out, and he's like, ah! Sorry, it's not the Falcon, because the Falcon was taken. It's like a shuttle.
Okay.
It's like a cargo shuttle. But they get on, and they get into the cockpit, and Chewie goes, Urgh. And Han's like, oh, we don't have C-3PO. Oh, that sucks. We'll have to come back and get him later. And they just leave. They just bail on 3PO and leave his ass there. I was like, oh man, that's totally what I would have done. And so, we see them leave, and the next morning, so the page ends, and then it's the next morning, and Jabba's palace is surrounded by, tanks and walkers and stormtroopers. And Vader shows up, and he's like, what the hell happened? And the stormtroopers are like, we got here, 8 hours ago, and we set up the perimeter so nobody could get away. But yeah, we haven't gone in, because it's, a mess. And Vader's just like, what the fuck?
What is happening in my timeline?
And you see him just like walking through the halls, and there's like dead bodies everywhere, and there's like shit knocked over and blown up, and it's like only 2 Nexu got out. Like, what the hell did they do to stop these things? Were they just like chucking thermal detonators down the hallways and everything? And so he gets to the throne room and finds like a bunch of bodies, but like Bib Fortuna's still alive, and Jabba's still there, and Jabba's got like a bunch of bandages on. And he's talking to Bib, and he's just like, "All right, so memo, next time, no Nexu. Get something that's a little easier to control, like a Rancor." And I was like, Jabba, no, that's stupid. Stop doing dumb stuff.
Yes, Rancor, the most easily tamed of beasts.
So easy. And Vader walks into the throne room, and he's just like, Jabba the Hutt, I know you have Han Solo, give him to me. And Jabba's like, dude, his ass left. Like, he's gone. And if I never see him again, that'd be great. Because every time I see him, shit goes wrong. And Vader's just like, fine. And he turns and sees C-3PO standing there, like, just off to the side. And he looks back at Jabba and goes, I'm taking that droid. And Jabba's just like, sure, why not? Everybody's just taking all my shit today. And he looks at Bib and he's like, Bib, where the hell did you go? We need a Rancor and a new translator. Go find them. Go get them. And Bib's just like... And so Vader's just... He takes 3PO and goes back to his ship. And he's sitting there talking to 3PO and he's like, do you know who built you? And 3PO goes, no, those memories are gone. They're either locked or destroyed. And he's like, well, that's unfortunate because I am your creator and you belong to me now. And 3PO's like, I'm sorry, but I belong to Master Solo until he says otherwise. And he's like talking to 3PO and he's like you can tell he's trying to go easy on 3PO because he's sentimental about building him.
It's his droid, yeah. He built him.
Yeah, like he built him and took care of him, but 3PO repeatedly is just like, no, like I can't help you. And he's like, what about your Master Skywalker? What happened to him? Where is he? And he's like, I can't tell you what happened to Master Skywalker. And Vader's just like, it's all right, 3PO. There's other ways I can get the information. And like he's like standing behind him with like his hand on his shoulder, and he just rips 3PO's head off. And, like, sticks this big prod in there to, like, pry out information. And it's like, Dagobah. Like, and he walks out of the door. And, like, you can tell he's upset that he had to do that. Like, he didn't want to, like, destroy 3PO.
Yeah.
And he's, like, set an immediate course for Dagobah and prepare my shuttle. So, that is the end of issue 3.
Okay.